Good morning everyone. So today we are here again with the class on mathematics for IBPS PO Prelims 2018, and I am covering here an important topic, that is speed, time and distance. The first session on speed, time and distance I had taken on this Saturday, and today we are starting with the next concept of speed, time and distance, that is for relative speed. Almost a month we have done now through this live training for IBPS PO examination for the prelims exam in October, and this is the 20th session for mathematics, right? Mathematics is very important for the prelims paper. You can see that 35 questions, around 10 to 15 questions can come from arithmetic part of the maths, where we have questions from profit and loss, speed, time and distance, time and work. So every question that you get right increases your chance of clearing the cutoff, and every aspect of that particular topic should be known to you completely, from the basics, understanding the theory part, understanding the formulas, how to use the formulas, right? What are the different variety of questions that can come, and what is the fastest technique of solving the question. So focus should be towards both the building the fundamental concepts as well as learning the faster and easier ways of solving questions. The speed, time, distance, the topic that I am covering today is again very important: relative speed and train. So two topics are there that I will be covering as a part of the session today: relative speed and train. So we will understand what is the concept of relative speed. That will be the first goal for the class, and second is to understand the concept of trains, and along with that we will also do problem discussion. I will take some problems from these areas and we will see how to tackle those problems, right? Okay. Now before we begin the class, we will first see the question from the previous CPP that most students got wrong. From the previous CPP of speed, time and distance, this question was there: a car travels a certain distance from town A to town B at speed of 50 kilometers per hour. If you see a car is traveling, let's say the car is going from town A to town B, and while going from town A to B, the speed of the car is 50 kilometers per hour, and comes back from town B to town A at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour using the same route. So distance while going and coming is same, so the speed is 40 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed of the car from the entire journey? Now can we find average speed just by adding 50 and 40 and dividing by 2? So if I do this 50 plus 40 by 2, the value will be 45, but that is not right. Why it is not right? Because speed itself is a rate. Speed is a rate. We say speed is equal to total distance by total time, or speed is equal to distance covered by time. So in this case, average speed should be equal to total distance by total time. Average speed is equal to total distance covered by the total time taken. Clear? Now in this special case, when the distance covered is same, so this formula which I have given here is when distance is same. Distance is same, then directly we can use the formula 2 S1 S2 by S1 plus S2. This is what we have done here: 2 into 50 into 40 by 50 plus 40, and the answer that you are getting is 44.44. So remember, we cannot find average speed by adding and dividing. Okay, average speed is equal to total distance by total time. Okay, and that should be same for any other rate. For example, average price, we say price is rupees per kg, total amount by total quantity. So average price is total amount by total quantity. So when distance is same, average speed is 2 S1 S2 by S1 plus S2. When we have three equal distances, let's say a car is going from A to B, and then from B to C, and then from C to D, and the distance is same in all of these three parts, then average speed, one more formula is there which you can note down, direct formula for average speed when we have three equal distances. If speed is S1 in the first part, S2 in the second part, S3 in the third part, then average speed is equal to 3 s1 s2 s3 divided by s1 s2 plus s2 s3 plus s1 s3. So this is also an important formula which you can use directly for solving questions on average speed when we have three equal distances. Knowing the direct formulas is very important in understanding. So don't think that you'll just add the speed 50 plus 40 and divide by 2, you'll get the wrong answer, and the wrong answer will always be there. That's always there to mislead you into getting the wrong answer. Okay, all right, sorry. Let's now continue with the topic of relative speed. Okay, so relative speed, what is relative speed? First let's understand that. Now it's a concept that we experience or when we apply when two objects are moving with respect to each other. Sometimes it happens, let's say for example when you are traveling in a train and your train is stationary at the station. No, you must have experienced this. A train is stationary at the station and on a parallel track another train starts moving, and if you are looking out from the window towards a moving train, you almost feel as if your train is moving, right? Or let's say when you are traveling in a car on a highway and there is a car coming from the opposite direction, when your car and the other car pass by, it appears as if both the cars are moving at a very high speed. Or let's say there are two cars that are going on a road side by side in the same direction and both the cars are moving at a good speed. Now if a passenger from one car looks at the passenger from the other, looks at the passenger in the other car, it almost feels that both the cars are moving very slowly. Right? So these things are what we mean by the concept of average speed. From there are two main things that we have to understand. One is that when two objects are moving, then the first case is when they are moving in the opposite direction, and the second case is when the objects are moving in the same direction. So there are two possibilities. Objects are traveling in the opposite direction. The two objects are there. Let's say A is coming from this side and B is coming from this side. So you can see very clearly that these two objects are moving in the opposite direction. Same time, suppose if A is going away this side and B is going away this side, that is also opposite direction. Clear? So we should understand when objects are traveling in the opposite direction. And second is when objects are traveling in the same direction. Two things are there in average speed. Objects can travel in the opposite direction or objects can travel in the same direction. Same direction, for example, suppose A is moving in this direction and B is also moving in this direction, we say that they are traveling in the same direction. So what happens in these two scenarios? ठीक है, तो पहले आप समझ लो कि दो मेन चीज़ होता है एवरेज स्पीड में। एक होता है कि या तो वो ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में ट्रैवल कर रहा है दोनों ऑब्जेक्ट, या फिर दोनों सेम डायरेक्शन में ट्रैवल कर रहा है। सपोज वी यूज द वर्ड ओवरटेक, नाउ वन कार इज ओवरटेकिंग द अदर कार। सो व्हेन वी ओवरटेक, एक कार दूसरे कार को ओवरटेक करता है, उसका मतलब क्या होता है कि दोनों कार सेम डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहे हैं और जो फास्टर कार है वो स्लोअर कार के आगे निकल जाता है। ठीक है, सो ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन इज देयर एंड सेम डायरेक्शन इज देयर। So in the case of opposite direction, relative speed is given as the sum of speeds SA plus SB. So what is relative speed? SR here stands for relative speed. So let's understand this. SR is relative speed. So जो relative speed है वो sum of speed है दोनों ऑब्जेक्ट का। इसीलिए जब टू कार्स पास करते हैं एक दूसरे के साथ ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में तो स्पीड लगता है बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है, राइट। सो यू एक्सपीरियंस एज इफ द स्पीड हैज़ इंक्रीज्ड व्हेन टू कार्स आर मूविंग और पासिंग बाय इन द ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन। क्लियर? एंड इन सेम डायरेक्शन रिलेटिव स्पीड is the difference of speed of the two objects. So we say SA minus SB, right? So relative speed is what here? The difference of speed. Now when I say SA minus SB, I am assuming here that SA is the faster object, because when one car is overtaking the other car, or one object is overtaking the other object, one of them has to be faster than the other, right. So SA is the faster object and SB is the smaller object. So these are two scenarios. One is when they are moving in the opposite direction, and the other is when they are moving in the same direction. Okay, very simple. Now let us take one scenario here just to understand. Let us say that A and B are two objects, and the distance between A and B is 40 kilometers. B is moving at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, and A is chasing B at a speed of 25 kilometers per hour. So at a particular point of time, the distance between them is 40 kilometers. Now clearly we can see here that A is the faster object and B is the slower object. So A will overtake B at some point. The question is, how much time will A take? How much time will A take to overtake B? How much time will A take to overtake B, or to catch B, or cross B? Any word we can use here. How much time A will take to cross B? How much time A will take to meet B? How much time A will take to overtake B, right? So first of all, the objects here are moving in the same direction. So that is one thing that we should always see first. The objects are moving in the same direction. So if objects are moving in the same direction, what we do is we say, what is the relative speed here? Difference of speed, 25 minus 20, so relative speed is equal to 5 kilometers per hour. So that means the distance between A and B, which is 40 kilometers will reduce at the rate of 5 kilometers per hour. So how much time it will take? Time is equal to distance divided by relative speed. So distance between the objects is 40, relative speed is 5. So how much time it takes? 8 hours. So A will catch B after 8 hours. This is how we apply the concept of relative speed. Okay. So now we have seen one example and the main scenario, that relative speed is of two types. One is that when objects are moving in opposite direction, relative speed is the sum of speed. When objects are moving in the same direction, relative speed is equal to the difference of speed, right. And we have seen this particular example where A and B, the gap is 40 kilometers, B is moving at a speed of 20, A at 25. So A will catch B after 8 hours. Now how will questions be framed from this topic? Let us take this question, let us take this example. Two persons start from opposite points A and B on a straight line at the same time. The two objects are starting from 2 points opposite on a straight line, and both the objects are starting, both the persons are starting at the same time. The person from A is moving at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour and the person from B is moving at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. If the distance between A and B is 150 kilometers, and if the two persons start at 8 am, at what time will they meet? Okay, alright, let us see. So distance is given to us. Distance क्या है? 150 kilometers between the 2 points A and B. The distance is 150 kilometers. A is moving towards B at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, and B is moving towards A at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. So they are moving in the opposite direction. The two objects are moving in the opposite direction. And at what time both of them are starting? A is starting at 8 am and B also at 8 am. both of these persons start at the same time that's given to us in the question is 8 a.m. Both of them started in the morning at 8 a.m. So now they are moving in opposite directions, so relative speed is 20 plus 30, 50. 20 plus 30, the relative speed is 50 kilometers per hour because the objects are traveling in the opposite direction. Time we know is equal to distance by relative speed. So what is the distance here? Distance कितना है 150 kilometers और speed कितना है relative speed 50 kilometers per hour. So 150 by 50, 3 hours. The time taken to meet will be 3 hours. They start at 8 a.m. 3 hours. After 3 hours they will meet 9, 10, 11. So at 11 a.m. when will the objects meet? At 11 a.m. Okay. So that is the first example about application of relative speed. Okay. अब हम लोग दूसरा क्वेश्चन देखते हैं यहाँ पे. What is the second example? A little lengthy to read. Let's understand here. A thief escaped from police custody. Since he was a sprinter, he could run at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. The police realized it as usual after 3 hours and started chasing him, that means chasing the thief in the same direction at 50 kilometers per hour. The police had a dog. So एक और चीज दिया यहाँ पे, क्या है? Police had a dog which could run at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. तो तीनों में fast कौन है? Thief is running at a speed of 40, police at a speed of 50 and dog at a speed of 60. The dog would run to the thief and then return back to the police and then would turn back towards the thief. It kept on doing so till the police caught the thief. Find the total distance travelled by the dog. So ये जो लास्ट पार्ट है इसको हम लोग बाद में देखेंगे. पहले हम लोग देखते हैं यहाँ पे कि thief escaped and started running at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour and police realized it after 3 hours. So that means in 3 hours the thief was not waiting, right? The thief was not waiting. क्या चलो पहले पुलिस को मालूम चल जाए फिर मैं दौड़ूंगा, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना. The thief was definitely running or moving at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. And how much time advantage the thief had got? 3 hours. So in 3 hours what will be the gap? You understand this? What will be the gap between the police and the thief? पहले ये निकाल लेते हैं हम लोग. गैप क्या है? Thief कितने स्पीड में भाग रहा है? 40 किलोमीटर पर आवर और पुलिस इज चेजिंग द thief at 50 kilometers per hour. So पहले तो ये टाइम देखिए 40 into 3 120 kilometers. So thief has taken a lead of how many kilometers? 120 kilometers. So at the beginning itself there is a gap between the police and the thief and that gap is how much? 120 kilometers. Now we will see the police also had a dog and this dog could run at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. But dog is doing something unique. What is the dog doing? It would run to the thief and then return back to the police. वो to and fro हो रहा है, वो thief तक पहुंचा फिर वो return होता है पुलिस की तरफ, फिर thief की तरफ, again back to the police. Keeps on doing so till the time the police catches the thief. So what is the distance covered by the dog? If you start thinking about how much distance the dog has run towards the thief, then how much distance the dog has run towards the police, and we keep on calculating, it will be very time taking. Let's first understand. Distance is equal to speed into time. So distance covered by the dog will be equal to speed of the dog into time for which the dog is running. Now speed of dog is given to us, so what is the only thing that we have to calculate in this question? ठीक है, इतना लंबा बड़ा क्वेश्चन में सिर्फ एक चीज है जो हमें पता करना है. For how long time? क्या पता करना है, हाउ लॉन्ग वॉज द डॉग रनिंग, हाउ लॉन्ग वॉज द डॉग रनिंग। और इसका आंसर जो है वो क्वेश्चन में ही है, इट केप्ट ऑन डूइंग सो टिल द पुलिस कॉट द थीफ। कब तक डॉग रन कर रहा था, टिल द टाइम द पुलिस कॉट द थीफ। सो बेसिकली हमें पता क्या करना है, टाइम टेकन बाय द पुलिस टू कैच द थीफ, and that is a basic question of relative speed. The gap between the police and the thief is 120 kilometers. Relative speed between the police and the thief is 50 minus 40, 10 kilometers per hour. So how much time will the police take to catch the thief? 120 by 10, 12 hours. Correct, this 12 hour will come here in the place of time, and 12 into 60 is 720 kilometers. So dog ने काफी दौड़ लगाई है, 720 kilometers is the total distance covered by the dog. So in this complex looking question, what we had to do was something very easy, just find out the time taken by the police to catch the thief, and that is very similar to the example that we have seen in the previous slide. The gap between A and B was 40, A's speed was 25, B's speed was 20, so time taken for A to catch B was 8 hours. So once we know the time, how long was the dog running, once we know this, here 12 hours, just put the value here and get the answer. Okay, so that is the answer for this question. And now we will see the next example from relative speed. Okay, so two towns are there, A and B. Our distance is 100 kilometers apart on a highway. One car starts from A, another from B at the same time. If the cars travel in the same direction at a constant speed, they meet in 5 hours. If the cars travel in the opposite direction, they meet in 1 hour. दो केस दिया है यहाँ पे. If they are moving in the same direction, तो टाइम कितना है, 5 hours. And if they travel in opposite direction, how much time will take, 1 hour. Distance between A and B is how much, 100 kilometers. So two towns are there, A and B, distance between them is 100 kilometers. Now one car starts from A, one from B, and if they travel in the same direction, so पहला केस यहाँ पे, case 1, when the cars are traveling in the same direction, distance is given to us, time is given to us, directly we can find out the speed. Speed of the first car, let it be A, and speed of the second car be B, A being the faster and B being the slower. Speed is equal to distance. What is our distance, 100, and how much time they have taken, 5 hours. So we get one equation, SA minus SB is 20. Let us take the second case here. When the cars are traveling in the opposite direction, सेम हो गया है कैलकुलेट, हमारा इक्वेशन क्या आया है, SA प्लस SB इज 20. अभी ऑपोजिट में क्या केस आएगा, SA प्लस SB, अगेन रिलेटिव स्पीड, SA प्लस SB इज इक्वल टू डिस्टेंस बाय टाइम. डिस्टेंस तो 100 ही है, पर टाइम चेंज हो रहा है, टाइम क्या हो जा रहा है, 1. सो 100 बाई 1 इज इक्वल टू 100. तो दो सिंपल इक्वेशन बनते हैं यहाँ पे, SA प्लस SB इज 100 and SA minus SB is 20, correct? Two equations are there. Now these two equations will solve here. SB will get cancelled, 2 times SA is equal to 120, or SA is equal to 120 by 2, 60. So what is the speed of the car moving faster, running faster? Which car is running faster, SA, that is why we are doing SA minus SB. What is the speed, 60 kilometers per hour. So this becomes your answer for the given question. 3 question देखा हमने relative speed से, all 3 were different, and you see the approach and observe this and develop your concept about how to solve other questions from relative speed that can come in the IBPS PO prelims or mains examination or other bank exams also. Okay. So, almost all the bank exams have the same kind of structure: maths, reasoning, data interpretation, English and GK, right. Topics are also same. When we are preparing for IBPS PO prelims, you are getting prepared for mains, okay, as well as clerical exams, SBI exam and all other exams here. Okay. Now, let us see the previous session contest question that we had discussed seen yesterday, order and ranking. For which topic we have this question, order and ranking. So, what is the question? A, B, C, D, E appeared in an exam and got distinct marks. A got more marks than D. C got more marks than A. So, I can directly write here, C got more than A but less than B. So, B will be here. Who got the maximum marks among the 5 students? So, A got more marks than D, C got more marks than A but less than B. Who got the maximum marks among the 5 students? We have no information about E. What about E? Where can E come? E can come after B also. So, we do not know the positioning of E and no other information is there about E. So, we can say the answer for this question is indeterminable. Okay? That is the answer for this question, indeterminable. We have no information about E. A got more marks than D, we know that. C got more than A but less than B, that is also given to us. This entire series we are getting, but we have no information about E. So, we can't say who got the maximum marks, we can't say who got the minimum also, because minimum can also be D or minimum can also be E, maximum can be B or maximum can be E. So, that is the question on order and ranking. Now, we will see the contest question for today. Akash started from town A at 8 am at speed of 50 kilometers per hour towards town B where his friend Ajay lives. Ajay started from town B towards town A at 9 am same day at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Ajay is going to meet his friend, Akash is going to meet his friend, but his friend is also going to meet Akash. But the time that they are travelling is different. One starts at 8, another starts at 9 at the speed of 40. So, Akash's speed is 50 and Ajay's speed is 40. If the distance between town A and B is 320 kilometers, at what time did Akash and Ajay meet? So, again application of relative speed. Try to solve the question and post your answer in the comment section. At what time they meet? One starts at 8 am, next starts at 9 am. At what time will these two persons meet? Okay, all right. So, now we will go to the next slide and see the new concept on trains. The concept of trains. So, why are we discussing trains separately here? Earlier also we have seen questions on trains in the first class of speed, time, distance, also we have seen questions on trains. So, we are separately putting trains in a category here because these are those questions where length of the train, or we can say the length of object is given, and this length is also important for us. That is why we have to consider it, right. We know a train has length. Let us say for example there is a train, let us say this is a train, right, dividing into different compartments. The train has a length given to you. Suppose the train is 100 meters long and there is an electric pole that the train is crossing. So, how much time will the train take to cross this pole? How much time will the train take to cross this pole depends upon the speed of the train. Suppose speed of the train is 10 meters per second. What is the speed? 10 meters per second. So, time taken to cross the pole, time taken to cross the pole. Now, you see, to cross the pole, the train has to cover its own length from the starting the engine to the last guard cabin, right. So, the train has to cover its own length in order to cross this electric pole. So, now we know the distance here is 100 meters. What is the distance? 100 meters, and what is the speed? 10 meters per second. So, time taken to cross the pole is equal to 100 by 10, or that is equal to 10 seconds. So, the train will cross the pole in how much time? 10 seconds. Suppose if the speed of the train is not given to us, length of the train is given to us, and the time taken to cross the pole is given to us, then we can find out the speed of the train. Clear? If speed of the train is given to us and time taken to cross the pole is given to us, then we can find out the length of the train. Now, in this case, the pole has got no length, but what if there is a railway bridge? Let us say there is a railway bridge and a train has to cross this bridge, right. So, just I am making a rough drawing. This is a railway bridge. The bridge has its own length also. The bridge starts from here, ends at here. Let us say the bridge is 120 meters long, and there is a train that has to cross the bridge, right. So, pardon my drawing. Okay. The train is 100 meters long, right. This train is 100 meters long, and the train has to cross the bridge, and the speed of the train is, let us take the same speed as we have taken earlier, 10 meters per second. So, now the question is, how much time taken to cross the bridge? Time taken to cross the bridge. When the train was crossing the pole, in this example, the first example we have seen here, when the train was crossing the pole, the train had to cover only its length, because the pole has negligible length compared to a train. But when a train has to cross, right, the train has to cross the bridge, the train will have to cover its length plus the length of the bridge. So, you can say here distance becomes equal to the train's length plus the length of the bridge. So, total distance becomes 220. So, bridge is not a point object unless until the train, after entering the bridge, completely comes out, unless until the train completely comes out, right, we will not say that the train has crossed the bridge, right. So, that part you are just trying to understand here. Unless until the train completely exits the bridge, we will not say the train has crossed the bridge. So, to cross the bridge, the train has to cover its length plus the length of the bridge. That part just trying to draw and make you understand. Now, speed is 10 meters per second. So, time taken to cross the bridge will be equal to how much? 220 by 10, 22 seconds. Right. So, two examples we have seen. One when the train was crossing an electric pole, and one when the train was crossing a railway bridge. It could be a railway tunnel, it could be a platform, it could be another train also, anything which also has length. So, two things we have seen here. One is that there are some objects which are point objects, some objects which are point objects, and point objects have length 0. The length is 0, the length is negligible compared to a train. Clear? Point objects have length 0. Examples, you can say a tree, an electric pole, a man, a car, all of these are examples of objects which have negligible length compared to a train. That is one thing. Second is that in questions on trains we also have stationary objects, Stationary objects are those objects which are not moving, like a pole is not moving, a railway bridge, tunnel or platform is not moving, but another train could be there that could be moving. So stationary objects are objects having speed 0. Stationary objects have speed 0. Example, we have a pole, a tree, a bridge and so on. Now we don't need to learn newer and 3, 4, 5 formulas for solving questions on trains. We will just learn one formula, and that will solve all questions on trains. S1 plus minus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2 by time, and thus this one formula will help us in solving all questions on trains, where S1 and S2 are speed, L1, L2 are length of the objects, and time is time taken to cross. Time to cross, whether it is in the same direction or the opposite direction, that is not important. Time taken to cross. We take S1 plus S2 when they are moving in the opposite direction, and S1 minus S2 when they are moving in the same direction. Take point object and stationary objects accordingly, length 0 and speed 0, and you will be able to solve all the questions by using this formula. Remember that in questions on trains, the speed is given in kilometers per hour, convert it immediately into meters per second, because length will be mostly given in meters per second. Let me take a few example questions and work it out quickly for you to understand how we apply the concept of, or how do we apply this formula, that I will show to you very clearly. Let us take this question first. If a train 110 meters long, length of train 110, crosses the pole in 3 seconds, length of pole 0, time taken to cross 3 seconds, right. Then time taken by it means train. To cross a platform 165 meters long is how much? So first we will take case 1, that is where we are given the length of train and pole and time taken to cross the pole. Using this we will say speed of train is equal to 110 by 3 meters per second. What is speed of train? Length of train by time taken to cross the pole. Now using this, now we will go to the second scenario. Now train is crossing an electric pole, sorry, train is crossing a platform. So speed of train is 110 by 3, speed of platform is 0, length of train is 110, length of platform 165. What is the time taken? That is what we have to find here. So we can say 110 by 3 equals 275 by time. 11 cancels 110 10 times, and 275 25 times. So time is equal to 75 by 10, 7.5 seconds. That is answer option C. Okay, that is the answer for this question. So now we will see the next example from trains. How do we apply the formula S1 plus minus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2 by time? How do we use this formula? Let us see the next question. A train 75 meters long, length of train 75, overtook means they are moving in the same direction a person who was walking at the rate of 6 kilometers per hour. Speed of person 6 kilometers per hour. Time is 7.5 seconds. Time is 7.5 seconds. What is the speed of train? Speed of train we have to find out. Length of person, person is a point object, you see, person is a point object. So point object means length 0. Now first convert this into meters per second, otherwise you will not get the right answer. 5 by 3 meters per second. Now put everything in the formula. Speed of train minus 5 by 3, because S1 minus S2 they are moving in the same direction, is equal to length of train plus length of person by time. This will cut it 10 times. Speed of train is equal to 10 plus 5 by 3, that is 35 by 3 meters per second. We can represent it as 11.2 by 3 meters per second. If you convert it into kilometers per hour, it will be equal to 42 kilometers per hour. So the answer will be both B and C. So very simple to apply the concept if you know how to use it. So keep in mind always the first thing, convert speed from kilometers per hour into meters per second before you start solving the question. Think about what all is given to you: length of train, length of person. Length of person is 0 because the person is a point object. In the formula S1 plus minus S2, it will become S1 minus S2. Why S1 minus S2? Because the two objects are moving in the same direction. Okay, S1 minus S2. Now we will see the next example for questions on trains. Okay, two trains on parallel lines, one 200 meter, another 175 meter, takes 7.5 seconds when running in opposite and 37.5 seconds when running in the same direction. Two cases are there: opposite direction, same direction. In opposite direction, the formula is S1 plus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2 by time. S1, that is 200 meters, length is 200 meters, L2 175 meters, time 7.5 seconds. So S1 plus S2, or we can say S1 plus S2 is equal to 375 by 7.5, dividing we get 50. In the same direction, what is the formula? S1 minus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2. See, the right hand side remains L1 plus L2 only, that is not changing. L1 plus L2 by time. So S1 minus S2 is equal to 375. We already know this is 375 from here. By time, what is time? 37.5 seconds. Cancel it, 10. Two equations we have: S1 plus S2 is 50, S1 minus S2 is 10, 2 S1 equals 60 or S1 equals 30 meters per second. So S2 will become how much? 20 meters per second, but answer is in kilometers per hour. So convert into kilometers per hour, multiply 18 by 5, multiply 18 by 5, you will get 108 kilometers per hour, and here you will get 72 kilometers per hour. So the question will be solved. See, one formula is there: S1 plus minus S2 equal to L1 plus L2 by time. So answer here is 108 and 72 kilometers per hour respectively. So all the concepts with examples we have discussed, relative speed as well as trains. So go through the video once, note down whatever important formulas are there, all the formulas, try to work out the examples once again. So now the time is for the class practice packs, where I have 10 questions from relative speed and trains. Those who have passport access, once you hear the sound, start solving the CPP. The question that most of you get wrong, I will be discussing in my next session. So best of luck to you and thank you.